Hello BookTube, Sarah here and welcome to my channel. Today I'm coming to you with another weekly reading vlog. This is going to be for week 9 for 2020. Today is the 23rd of February and it is about 8:30 at night. I just finished filming a couple videos that you guys will have already seen on the channel, so since I was already sitting here, I thought I would just do my update for today as well. So yeah, I've started labeling them week like 8, 9, whatever it happens to be, just to make it a little bit easier to know what week we're on instead of just putting the date. But anyway, I guess the date might be easier too, but regardless, it is what it is. So, weekly vlog. I am going to be, of course, vlogging all week. You guys are pretty familiar with these. My last vlog was quite long, so sorry. But I'm sure a lot of you do not mind. And yeah. So, first of all, let me start off with sharing the fact that I actually finished a book today. And then I'm going to get into what my reading plans are for the rest of this week. So first of all, I did finish An Incantation of Cats by Clara Simon, I think is the author's name. Sorry, I don't have it off the top of my head. This one only ended up getting a 2.5-star rating from me. I did not really care for this one very much. I talked about a lot of my issues with it in my last vlog. Essentially, this is about a woman who has 3 cats, and the 3 cats are siblings, and the story is told from the perspective of the cats. And it just wasn't well done, in my opinion. It was very, very confusing as to who was talking and whose perspective we were listening to and, you know, which cat it was, because the cats weren't always saying, oh, said, you know, Harriet. You know how a book will, you know, where is she going? Asked Harriet, that kind of a thing. Whereas in this book, it was like, where is she going? The sleek Siamese asked. And you not only did you have to keep track of who's who with their names, but what breed of cat they were. So it was a little confusing. And yeah, I really wanted to like the series. This is the second book I've read in it, and both of them I got from NetGalley. If I see another one come up, I will not be requesting it, just because they are not that enjoyable to me. The thing that I'm a little upset about more than anything is the fact that I actually used an Audible credit to get this book. So, excuse me, I've got the hiccups. So I'm going to see if I can return it and just say that I didn't like it. I tried to do it right from the app, but it said it wouldn't let me, that I have to call customer service. So when I get some time, I'll do that. It's not a huge rush, but I just don't want to keep it because I'm never going to re-listen to it again. So yeah, it was a dud for me, unfortunately. Not every book is great, but c'est la vie, right? So on to my reading plans for this week. It is the end of the month. It's the last week of the month. This vlog will end on the 29th. And then the next week's vlog will start on the 1st of March, which is pretty cool. But, so I have 4 books that I need to finish by the end of the month that I have to finish. And then 2 more that I'd like to finish by the end of the month. So my goal is to finish 6 books this week, you guys. So starting off with my audiobooks, I do plan on starting tomorrow because I did finish the Incantation of Cats today. Tomorrow I plan on starting Sisters by Choice by Susan Mallory, which is a NetGalley read. It came out earlier this month. I was sent a copy by the publisher, so thank you very much to the publisher for that. But I did grab a copy on audio, so I will be listening to that this week. My plan is to start and finish that one. My plan is to also start and finish Lucky in Love by Casey West, which is a book that if you've been watching me for the last month or so, if you saw my February TBR, you know I had it on my TBR as a book I borrowed from the library in a physical format. The Audible Romance package actually has it, or the Audible Escape package, excuse me, actually does have a copy of it. So I returned that copy to the library and I am going to listen to it on audio. So it's a shorter book. It's a YA contemporary and I'm very much looking forward to it. So those are the 2 audiobooks I plan on starting and finishing this week. And then I plan on finishing because I'm about 35% right now of the way through A Cowboy for All Seasons by Maisie Yates, Nicole Helm, Caitlin Cruz, and Jackie Asherden. And this is a super, super adorable story. I'm loving it so far. It is 4 connected short stories in one anthology, each one, of course, by a different author, and they follow the same group of cousins after the death of their grandmother, and each one of them, as per their grandmother's will, needs to spend a season living in her old farmhouse in this small town. It is delightful, utterly delightful. I am loving every second of it, and I will update you guys more on that one during the week as I get closer to finishing it. The other book I plan on starting and finishing by the end of this week, by the end of Saturday, is The Sundown Motel by Simone St. James, which is another one that I have from NetGalley. And yes, I need to get this one read. I have seen so many positive reviews on it that it is totally creepy. And now I read The Broken Girls earlier this month, and it was good. There were some parts that were creepy, but nothing like, but people are really saying it's creepy. So I am actually really looking forward to that. It'll be kind of fun. And yeah, so that is that for the books that I have to get done by the end of the month, because they are all for challenges or things like that that I need to get done. So the other two books that I would like to finish is one that both of them I just started today. So the first one is Texas Ranch Justice by Karen Whidden. Whidden? Yeah, I think that's how you say her name. This is a romantic suspense novel, a Harlequin romantic suspense novel. It is the book from my Harlequin shelf. That was just the next one that I picked. I just started, I'm about 10 pages into it, but I do have this broken down by day on what I need to read every day, because I would like to add this one to my list to get done, because currently I think I'm sitting at, no, it's not, 31 is for the year. I think I'm at 13 books finished for the month. So if I can get 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, if I can get these 6 books done this week, I'll have 19 books finished for this month. So that's pretty good. January was 18, so that'll be kind of nice. So yeah, so I would like to get this one done. This is essentially about a woman, I think he's just a rancher. And this woman just shows up at the ranch. And she is kind of the long-lost daughter to the guy who runs the ranch. Not this guy, obviously. A much older man. And that older gentleman is dying of some unknown ailment. Many doctors have looked at him. They can't figure out what it is. And she is back to kind of see him and spend time with him. But our male lead here, Travis, he thinks that something is afoot, because there has been an oil company trying to buy some of the land because there's oil under their land, and the oil company wants to buy it, but they don't want to sell. So there's kind of a lot going on in here. So it sounds really good. And I really have to say, I don't know about you guys, but I always read the dedication in books, because some of them are very nice, some of them are funny, some of them are just pretty average. But this one really spoke to me, because it says, to the caregivers, all those nursing a parent, spouse, or child through a serious illness, I know how hard it is, and it's the purest demonstration of love. And I just thought that was so sweet. And I guess it's in talks about the fact that the daughter is coming back to kind of look after her dad, and the father also has not a live-in nurse, but a nurse that comes and spends the day with him to make sure he's okay. So yeah, I am really, really interested in this one and cannot wait to read some more of it. And then the last book I want to talk to you guys about that I plan on starting and finishing this week, I've already started it, like I said, is New York, New York by Ann M. Martin. This is the 6th super special in the Babysitters Club series. So I am reading these in publication order, and this is the next one that I have to read, and I'm super, super stoked about getting to it. The super specials were some of my favorite things to read in the Babysitters Club series, and in this one, essentially it is what it sounds like. All the babysitters travel to New York City, and they spend 2 weeks in New York, and they're hijinks. So this should be a lot of fun. But anyway, guys, that is all that I have for this clip today. I am going to try and keep the rest of these clips short. We shall see. Let's see if that actually happens. But yeah, so that's about it. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys. Hi, everyone. It is Monday. It is the 24th of February, and it's about 5:30 at night. I've been home for about a half an hour, and now as soon as I sit down, Goran decides to start scratching up the couch. Because why? Why can we have nice things? I've been home for about a half an hour. I came in, I did some tidying up, and I'm now making a cup of tea, and I am gonna go and shower soon and make my lunch for tomorrow and make my dinner for tonight. But I thought I would sit down and chat with you guys before I started to veg on the couch for the rest of the night. So, reading update for today. I have gotten, and since yesterday, last night I got a really good chunk read of, and now Bernard is scratching up the ottoman. Again, we spend money on cat towers that are scratching posts, on scratch things for them, but no, the furniture is so much more enjoyable. So anyway, I got a very good chunk read last night of A Cowboy for All Seasons, the anthology that I'm currently reading by Maisie Yates, Nicole Helm, Caitlin Cruz, and Jackie Asherden, I believe, is the last author's name. I am just finishing up the second story. So I'm about halfway through it, which is the one by Nicole Helm, and it takes place in the summertime. It was really delightful. The first story was a second chance romance between a couple that dated years ago. And then this next one is a single father romance, essentially, that our main character, JJ, she is spending the summer at the house that their grandmother, wanted. Yeah, I think I talked about this one yesterday. That the grandmother wants each of the four cousins to spend a season in this small town in the farmhouse where they all spent their summers as children. So anyway, JJ ends up taking care of this gentleman. His name's Cade. His two little girls, and of course, over the course of the story, the two of them fall for each other. But he kind of pushes her away towards the end because he knows that she's going to be leaving to go back home. And, of course, there's a happily ever after. It was delightful. I love Nicole Helm's writing. She does write a lot of contemporary, but I know right now she's writing a lot for the Intrigue line, I believe it is. And she does really great romantic suspense, but she can also do really great contemporary, a standard contemporary romance. So I started listening today to Sisters by Choice by Susan Mallory. I am thoroughly enjoying this one so far. It's again about cousins. It's about three cousins, two who are the same age, who are in their mid to late 30s. And then the third cousin is actually only 20, but she's not technically their cousin. Her mother is their cousin, so she's their second cousin. And it's really nice seeing I really love when Susan Mallory does this. She did this really well with the Matchmaker Bay series? Matchmaker, the Girls of Mischief Bay. It was the Mischief Bay series. Matchmaker Bay is the one I just read last week with, that was written by Jenny Holiday. But anyway, in the Mischief Bay series with the Girls of Mischief Bay and Friends We Keep, where you have this group of three friends or three cousins or three whatever, or four, and each one is kind of at a different stage and how all of them are coping over the course of a period of time. So in this one, we have Christine, who is a stay-at-home mom to three boys. Her oldest is 14, and I think her youngest is like 10. And, she's been married. She married a guy right out of high school. And they're kind of having some problems because she wants to, she kind of has a little bakery business, but she runs it out of her personal kitchen at home. And she wants to expand, but the husband's kind of like, well, why do you need to do that? Your job is here at the home with the boys, kind of an idea. I mean, it's not that he doesn't care about her or he's being that, it's just that this is the way things have always been, and why are we going to change the status quo? And she really wants to expand. She wants to open this new, she wants to open a bigger bakery and have industrial size ovens and things like that. So that's where that character is. Then there's the character of Sophie, who owns a business called CK Industries, which actually sells cat supplies, food and beds and toys. She started the company in college out of her dorm room and has since grown it to be this huge mega company. And at the beginning of the book, not a spoiler really because it happens within the first chapter, is that she was living in LA and the series takes place in Washington State. And she, her building burns down, the warehouse, the offices, everything burns to the ground because of faulty wiring. So anyway, she kind of comes back to Blackberry Island, which is where this is the fourth book in the Blackberry Island series. And she comes back to reopen in this new place. So, and then the 20-year-old second cousin, Heather, she is my favorite character. She is delightful. She's been working since she was 16. She has 3 different jobs and she's supporting her mother. There's absolutely nothing wrong with her mother other than the fact that she's lazy, as far as I can tell. I do not like the mother at all. Her name is Amber, and she just, every time there's a scene with Amber, my back just gets right up, and I'm just like, you witch. You have no idea how much your daughter's doing for you. Now, on the flip side, and Heather's friends mentioned this as well, that, yes, Amber is taking advantage of her daughter, but Heather is letting her. She can step in and put her foot down and say, no more, Mom, but she doesn't. So it does, in a way, take two to tango. Should the mother be doing it? No. But should Heather stand up for herself? Absolutely. So I'm a little over 25% of the way through it, and I'm really enjoying it. It's being narrated by Tanya Eby, who I adore, so that one's been a lot of fun. Trying to think of what else I've been reading. I did start yesterday, excuse me, sorry, you probably didn't need me that close. I did start Texas Ranch Justice yesterday, which I talked about. I'm not very far into it, only about 40 pages, so I'll update that one as I go through it the week. And last night I started reading New York, New York by Ann M. Martin, the 6th super special in the Babysitters Club series, where all the babysitters head, of course, to New York City for 2 weeks. And that one's been super fun. I think I said it yesterday, the super specials are my absolute favorites. But anyway, guys, that is all that I have for this clip. I am doing my best to keep these clips a little bit shorter than normal. You know, I'm going to see how that works. I see other people's vlogs and all they do is come on and talk about the books and they don't waffle on. So unless there's something really interesting to tell you guys, I'm going to try my best to keep it about the books. But yes, so that's all I have for today. I will update you all tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Bye. Hi, everybody. It is Tuesday. It's the 25th of February, and it is about 5:30 at night. I think this is the same time I sat down with you yesterday. So, quick reading update. I really don't have much reading to update you guys on. Not because I haven't gotten a bunch read. I got some more read, of course, in A Cowboy for All Seasons. I am now on Maisie. I'm partway through Maisie Yates' story. It's the 3rd one, and I'm really enjoying it. It's really cute. It's not a second chance romance because they never had a relationship. She was 17 to his 27. And, you know, growing up, she kind of had a crush on this much older boy, and nothing ever happened, obviously, because that would just be, you know, creepy and potentially illegal. She confessed that she loved him during his engagement party 6 or 7 years earlier. So when she was only still 17. So I guess she's now about 23 or 24 years old. And she's, of course, come back. Her name is Lila. And she is the sister to JJ from the 2nd story. And they meet back up again, of course, because his ranch is beside her grandmother's ranch. So they have been drafted by the grandmother in her will to put on this red barn, some sort of like I want to say like a fall fair, it sounds like a fall fair and sale, like, you know, people selling crafts and things like that. And so anyway, they're kind of being forced to work together. So I really think what I'm feeling through each of these stories is that the grandmother's definitely been a matchmaker, and I've really enjoyed all of them. They've been really, really delightful. This is a really fun anthology. So yeah, I'm enjoying that one a lot. The other one that I got a bit more reading done today, I didn't listen to it on the way home. I had a couple pit stops to make on the way home, so it was kind of in and out of the car and stuff like that. Sisters by Choice by Susan Mallory. I don't really have much more to add than what I talked about yesterday. I'm still enjoying it, and yeah, I'm looking forward to actually hoping to maybe get that one done tomorrow, but we shall see. And tomorrow or Thursday, I will definitely get that one done. Sorry, those of you who have cats, mine scratch by their food dish. I don't know why. Like, I don't know whether they're saying they like it or they don't like it. I don't know. And now he's going to scratch the couch. Because again, why not? Anytime I sit down here, Gorgor, you've got to scratch the couch. Silly thing. So, any more reading other than that? I am still reading, of course. I'm working my way through New York, New York by Ann M. Martin. And on Sunday, I read a little bit of the Australia anthology. I'm working on another story. I had one of you comment to me, which I thought was kind of brilliant, to kind of look to see which authors get higher ratings on some of their books or what their books might be like, and test the waters and see, you know. But what I think I might do is I'm going to continue reading it right now. And again, like I said in my last vlog, my goal is, was it my last vlog or this vlog? I can't remember. They all meld in together, you guys. That my goal is, if on Saturday night I'm not at 25%, I'm going to DNF it. So I do want to get a little bit more read of it tonight. I'm at 19% right now. But what my plan is that I'm going to continue reading it. And if I get to a story where I read the first little bit of it and I just think this is not for me, this is all going to be essentially adult content kind of an idea, I'm just going to skip it and go to the next one and consider it read. You know what I mean? So yeah, so that's kind of my game plan. So I'm not, you know, kind of slog, even though they're short stories. I don't want to waste time reading something I don't really care about that much. So yeah, so that's my plan for that. And where is it? It's not over here. Is it over here? I don't know where my book went, where my other book went. Oh, it's right beside me. And I'm making my way, of course, still through this one, Texas Ranch Justice by Karen Whitten. And I'm enjoying this one too. So that's all that I have for reading today. Very, very quick little what's going on in my life story, because this is really funny and very embarrassing for me. So the office that I work in is really cold. Like, I mean, I have a big fleece coat, like a sweater coat that belonged to my dad, that my mom gave me a few weeks ago when I was complaining about how cold it is in the office. Like, I'm walking around in a cardigan, and I also have a scarf, like one of my shawls on, and my hands are still turning purple because it's so cold in there. And I'm always cold to begin with. I've got, I'm on blood thinners for one, and for two, I have poor circulation in my hands and feet. So my hands are always cold. I've even tried the fingerless mitts. I do have a pair at work, but still. So I do, the girl who was in the office last, who left the company, she had one of those little space, those little small heaters that you can plug in. So I've had it on a couple times, and my manager's like, don't leave that on all the time because it will blow a circuit or it will blow the computer or something. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. So what I do on most lunchtimes, and I've never had a problem, you guys can all see where this story is going, is I would have the heater I have the heater on at lunch, and I have my office door closed, and I like warm up my little office, and then in the afternoon it's not so bad. So I had it on, and I was sitting there, and I was eating my lunch, and I was reading my book, and all of a sudden the computer goes off, and I'm like, uh-oh. And the heater goes off, and the printer goes off, and I'm like, oh, that's not good. So then in the hallway, I can hear some of my coworkers going, did you guys lose the internet? What's going on? And I thought, okay, it must have been a power surge for the building. It wasn't me. You know what I mean? So I turned off the heater and I unplugged it just for when the power came back. The power. But then I'm starting to think the power didn't go off because clearly I had lights on in the office. So I opened the door and I'm like, yeah, it's out. Like my computer's not working. So one guy's like, well, maybe you tripped a breaker or something or so, So it turns out that with the heater on, I did trip a breaker. And that breaker also controlled the internet. So because I had my heater on in the afternoon, or in that it was maybe 10 minutes. I had that heater on for 10 minutes. It totally wiped out the internet for everybody in the company. Oops. Welcome to working here. So yeah, I just thought that was funny, and some of you who work in an office might appreciate that. And of course it was like, don't put the heater on. And I'm like, okay. So I left it unplugged. I rolled it up. Like I wrapped the cord around it and it's unplugged, and I put it away, and I thought, okay, I'll just have to survive without my little heater, because clearly the circuit was overloaded or the breaker was overloaded. So anyway, that's my little funny story for today. And that's really about all that I have for you guys today. I'm going to go have my dinner, and then I am going to shower and make my lunch for tomorrow. And then I'm going to relax on the couch for the rest of the night. And I cannot wait to get some reading done and some BookTube watched. Hi, BookTube. It is, what day is it today? It's the 26th of February. It's about 6:30 at night. I just finished filming my March TBR, so that was a lot of fun. So my game plan for tonight is to get that edited and posted first thing tomorrow. So you guys will have already seen it by the time this video goes up. So yeah, so reading update for today, not much, you guys, really. I mean, I got some reading done, but I really don't have anything much to share because I'm not much further, I'm further along, but I still don't have a lot to share. So of course I'm still reading A Cowboy for All Seasons, and I'm on the last story, and I am so enjoying this one. This is the one by Jackie Asherden, which is the author I'm not familiar with, but so far I'm really enjoying it. My game plan would be to actually finish this book tonight. So we shall see if I can do that. I don't think it'll be that much of a hardship. But yeah, my definite plan is to try and finish that one tonight. My audiobook I'm still listening to is Sisters by Choice by Susan Mallory. I think I'm about 75% of the way through that one. So I'm made a good chunk of it listened to today, mainly because we had weather today. Not pleasant weather. We got a Texas low, they're calling it, and because of it we got a bunch of snow. So Texas, you can keep your snow. We have plenty up here. Please don't send your snow to us. But yeah, I mean, they were calling for this for days and days and days. And I got up this morning and I looked outside. There was just a dusting. Drove to work really no problem. A bit more traffic than normal. I think people were trying to get in early so they could leave early. And then driving home tonight still wasn't that bad, but then I had to stop at Walmart. And when I left Walmart a half an hour later, it's like all heck broke loose. I mean, it was snowing so much. And I said to my mom, I called her from the car on my way home. I'm like, I'm so glad I don't leave work at 5 o'clock now, because I would have had to drive through all of this and it would have taken me a good hour plus to get home. So yeah, we have weather right now. So I got a bit more of this listened to because the drive was a little bit slower than normal. So that was pretty good. And I don't have a lot more to add from like the last time I talked about this one, except for the fact that every single time Heather's mom, Amber, the older cousin, like the one who's the same age as the other two main characters, every time she's in a scene, I want to wring her neck. I can't stand her. And I don't know how. None of the other characters have told her, like, where she can shove it, essentially. I mean, she is so blatantly in-your-face rude and condescending and witchy, and I'm being polite. And I'm like, how are you getting away with this? And they're like, oh, she's our cousin. No, that doesn't mean anything, you know. Or Heather, I get it that she's your mom, but call her out on her crap. Jeez, like, it just, she's driving me bonkers. But to me, that's a sign of good writing. Like, when a character can make you feel one way or the other, it you know, shows some really good writing. And yeah, that's really all I have to share. I have not read any more of the Australia book. I need to read a chapter tonight. Where is it? I don't know where I put it. Of my current romantic suspense novel. And I am about 30, maybe even 40% of the way through New York, New York by Ann M. Martin. So, which is the 6th book, of course, in the Babysitters Club Super Special series. So I'm enjoying that one quite a bit. But yeah, that's really all I have to share with you guys today. I don't have a lot. I'm trying to keep these clips short and sweet. I want to see how this works. I know you guys really like hearing about like my day and things like that, but most days I really don't have that much to share with you. So if I do, I promise I will, and I'm not going to keep stuff like that from you. But if it's just strictly like book related, I'm just going to keep it book related. But right now I've got 2 adorable cats laying all over the floor, so maybe I'll get some video. And I think it's still light enough out that I might be able to get some video of the snow too. So I'll try that as well and add it in here. So until tomorrow, guys, talk to you then. Bye. We currently run a cat flop house. Bernard. And the beast. My gore beast. Hi, you gonna be on the camera? Who is more pampered than this cat? Can we talk about this? It's a box. He's got 4 blankets, plus Garrett's sock yarn blanket. It's the one that he started knitting and didn't finish. So now it belongs to the Goran. And then over here, sorry for turning the camera, we have the shy one. He's feisty. The bean. So not sure how well this is going to really show up on camera because of the bright lights outside. But yeah, we're getting a bit of snow. And I'm over it. I'm done. I thought that the groundhog saw his shadow or didn't see his shadow or what have you. Does that mean it was supposed to be an early spring? This is ridiculous. Oh, they're predicting 15 to 25 centimeters of snow before tomorrow morning. The drive-in tomorrow is going to be no fun at all. But yeah, so there it is. It does look pretty if I didn't have to go out in it. Bye, guys. Hi, everybody. It is Thursday night. It is about 9 o'clock at night. And, yeah, I am messy hair, everything. I don't care. I actually was off work today. I woke up this morning really not feeling well. And I just... it was stomach, headache, the whole kit and caboodle, and which is why I look like this. I've pretty much been in my jammies all day, sitting here on the couch. I did sleep in quite a bit this morning, or quite late this morning for me. I didn't get up till like 9:30, 10 o'clock, and I was still feeling off, so I was just kind of been sitting on the couch all day and relaxing, making sure I get lots of water, and I've been eating. and stuff like that. I do feel a lot better. I'm just still really tired. So I don't know if it was like a little bug or something that I had, but I don't know. So I did get quite a bit of reading done though since I woke up this morning. I finished reading Sisters by Choice by Susan Mallery, which was so good. I think I ended up giving it a 4.5-star rating. It was delightful, absolutely delightful. I was a little bit nervous, not nervous going into it, but the last one that I had from Susan Mallery, and she's a go-to author for me. She's like a favorite. And the last one that I had from her off of NetGalley that came out last year was The Summer of Sunshine and Margot, which I didn't particularly enjoy. So I was like, oh, you know, is she losing her touch? But no, not at all. Just that one happened to be a bit of a dud for me. And I know it wasn't for a lot of people. I know a lot of people really enjoyed that book. But Sisters by Choice was so, so good. I've talked about it already, about what it was about over the last few clips of this vlog. There was one thing that happened at the end that I didn't completely agree with. I understand the reason why the character made that decision to do that, but I don't agree with it because even as the character even says in the book, it was rewarding bad behavior. And, you know, I did not like Heather's mom. Excuse me, sorry. I did not like Heather's mom, Amber. She, as I said in the previous clip, drove me absolutely bonkers. But at the end of the story, and I don't want to give anything away, I would like to hear more about Heather, who was the youngest of the three cousins. She was only 20, and she was a second cousin to the older two girls, to Christine and Sophie. Amber was actually their cousin, their first cousin, so Heather would be the second cousin. And like I said, she was only 20, and throughout the story you do meet her two friends. Gina and I want to say it's Daphne is the other friend's name. But what I'd really like to see is a follow-up novel about the three of them. And I know Susan Mallery has done this before with her Mischief Bay series, where, you know, you'll get a group of 3 women or something like that, and then the next story follows one of the women, like continues on their story, and then introduces some new characters. So I would really love to see Heather's story continue and see what she's been up to since, you know, the ending of this novel and stuff like that. I think that would be absolutely delightful, and I'll be on the lookout for that next year. If someone could put the bug in Susan Mallery's ear, if she doesn't already have it, I would love to read that book. But anyway, yeah, so I finished that today. Starting tomorrow, so we've got 2 more days left this month. Tomorrow and Saturday, and I have 4 books. 4 books I want to finish in the next 2 days. So the one thing that I did get a chunk of reading done on today was Texas Ranch Justice by Karen Whidden. This one's been really, really good. I am now 160 pages in, and it's a 280-page book, so I'm a little bit over halfway through it. I was intrigued to pick this one up today, and I just couldn't put it down. I think it was just a nice, easy, kind of mindless read. It is a romantic suspense, but I'm not finding it overtly suspenseful, to be completely honest. So it is about a woman who shows up at this guy's front door, not him, but his stepfather, and says, I'm his daughter. And the thing is that there's also oil companies that are trying to buy or acquire the land that the stepfather has to drill for oil. So our main character here, Travis, and her name is Scarlett, he thinks that she, you know, in a way works for the oil company, and of course a romance ensues between the two of them. And there are some people who don't really want her in town, and yeah, so it's kind of a lot of stuff, but like in the suspenseful aspect of these books, typically it's not overtly suspenseful. It's, you know, more about the mystery surrounding the fact that the stepfather is very, very ill, and they don't know why. Now, I'm pretty sure I know exactly what it is, and I think I figured it out like way earlier on in the book, but that's okay. It's kind of fun watching the characters try and figure it out, but we'll see if I'm right. So this one should be done by Saturday. Got about 120 pages left, should not be too difficult. But that being said, though, I do have to start The Sundown Motel. I have 2 days to finish that book. And I was debating on listening to it on audio, but I'm like, I have another audiobook that I need to finish because I need it for a challenge. So I am going to be reading it on my Kindle. I had it as an e-arc, and it's already been published. So I am really looking forward to it, and I have to do a lot of reading on it tomorrow, as much as I can, because Saturday I haven't really talked about like personal stuff in this vlog too much because really there hasn't been much going on, to be honest. But Saturday is going to be a bit of a difficult day for me, a very difficult day for me. On Saturday, we are having Dad's, we're calling it the celebration of life. There was no funeral like people are typical, like you typically, have a funeral after someone passes away. But in keeping with Dad's personality and the kind of person that he was, that just wasn't what we felt that he would have let. Even my mom said the other day, she goes, your father would have hated this too. He didn't like a fuss made. Let's put it that way. But there are going to be a lot of people there. My mom's, like I think I've mentioned in previous vlogs, my mom's heard from so many people who knew him 10, 20 years ago who are showing up, people that he used to work with, people he used to play baseball with, people he used to bowl with, old friends, and family, of course, extended family. So, so Saturday's going to be difficult. It's not going to be a relaxing, easy Saturday. I am actually not looking forward to the weekend for the first time in a long time. But, as I don't think this sounds bad, and I understand what my mom and my aunt, my dad's sister were saying, that they're looking to put this behind us. I know what they're saying, and I think a lot of you understand what we're saying too, but because he passed in January, and it's now the end of February, so it's been about 6 weeks since he passed away. Typically, the funeral happens within a week or so after a person passes away, but because it's been like 6 weeks, it's kind of been, we've still kind of had this very difficult thing that has to be done hanging over our heads. And as hard as it's going to be, it's, I am in a way looking forward to seeing some people, people I haven't seen since I was a kid and stuff like that, and to be able to talk about him and stuff, but it's still going to be really, really, really hard. Because it's always so very final. You know what I mean? So yeah, anyway, that was just a side little tangent thingy. So not a lot of reading is probably going to get done on Saturday, because the celebration, or the service, or whatever you want to call it, starts about noon. It's not even going to be a typical service at all. It's essentially going to be people coming in, and there's going to be pictures up and stuff like that, and I'm going to talk. My niece has a video that she filmed, because she's nervous getting up and talking in front of people. So bless her little heart. She did a video talking about Grandpa, and so I think, and whoever wants to talk about him can get up and talk to the group or whatever, and the pastor at the church is going to say something. It's my brother and sister-in-law's church, and we're using it because it's actually going to be bigger, more space than the funeral home, because we predict a lot of people are going to be there. And that's not, that's the kind of that guy Dad was. So I will update you guys on Saturday. I'll try and come on later on and let you know how it all went. Not good. As anyone who's ever had to go to a funeral, how was it? Well, it was kind of depressing. Let's be realistic. So, I mean, I'm doing better every day. Talking to my mom tonight, she said that she dreamed about Dad for the first time since he died. And she said she doesn't remember what it was necessarily about, but they were just talking. And, already I'm getting teary-eyed just thinking about it, right? So, yeah, I miss him terribly still. I cannot believe it's been 6 weeks. It feels like it flew by, and it feels like it's been slower than molasses at the same time, So, yeah, it will be nice to have this bit of closure, and be able to continue on. Not that you forget about the person, but you can move on. You know what I mean? So I think that's what my mom and my aunt were talking about. But anyway, that's really all I have for today, you guys. I will update you tomorrow on how I did on my reading. I will be starting a new audiobook tomorrow. Luckily, it's only about 7 hours long or something like that, and the way I listen to my audiobooks, I should fly through it relatively quickly. But the Sundown Motel is the one that's making me a little bit nervous, so I do have some time before bed, it's only 9 o'clock. But I should get to bed soon. I'm going to try and get a bit more reading. I'm going to try and start it tonight Now the thing is too, is that I've heard that it's quite scary. Scarier, like more of a ghost story than The Broken Girls was. So yeah, I'm like wondering now, like, is this going to be the best book for me to read at night when I'm home alone? We shall find out. But anyway, that's about all I have for tonight, guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye. Hi everybody, it is the 28th of February. It's Friday. Happy Friday. It is about 6:30 at night. I've been home for about an hour or so, and I've kind of just been doing a little bit of relaxing, just trying to decide what I was going to make myself for dinner. I think we're going to do Kraft Dinner tonight, or macaroni and cheese for my American friends, because I am just feeling lazy and in the mood for some comfort food. And yeah, it's cold. It is bloody cold, to be honest. We got snow. I think I showed you guys some video of the snow starting on, was it Wednesday? It was Wednesday, because I was off work yesterday and we had a whole bunch of snow Wednesday into Thursday. So yesterday we didn't get any more snow, but now it's snowing again. So yeah, I'm done with winter, quite frankly. But after this, it looks like it's supposed to start warming up a little bit into the plus temperatures would be lovely. I do have to go pick up my husband from work tonight, or at the subway station. So I do have to go out back in it again, but it is what it is. And yeah, that's really about all that I have update-wise. I was at work today. It was fine. I was busy for most of the day, which was kind of nice. I'm settling in more and more now. I've been there. It'll be a month on Monday. I've been there. So that's exciting. So before I get into the reading update, there is something, sorry, I'm sitting kind of at an odd angle on the couch. I do have something that I haven't been doing this week, and that is opening my minis. So for those of you who might be new, I have a blanket that I'm currently knitting on. It is a sock yarn scrap blanket. Yeah, sock yarn scrap blanket. So you use little bits of leftover yarn and you put them together in these like mitered squares, and you attach them all as you go, and you end up with this like patchwork quilt looking knitted blanket. I've been working on it for a number of years now. And anyway, my goal this year is to add more squares to it. So what I decided to do was, I get little envelopes and I tape them up, but on the outside of the envelope, I write the name of a book that's on my TBR for that month. I still need to put my list, these together for the month of March. And as I finish books, I'm going to open these and add them to my blanket. But the thing is, I don't add them as the week goes on. This is from An Incantation of Cats, which I finished earlier this week. You know, I haven't obviously added it in yet. My goal is usually I add these in on Saturday while I am editing this vlog, essentially. So, but I like to open these on camera for you guys, and then tomorrow night I will show you them in the blankets. So I just thought I'd open these real quick, and then I will talk about my reading for today. So, pop this one open. Ooh, this one's pretty. This is No Makers. I have a full-size skein of this as well. She did a lot of these little mini collections when she was dyeing yarn. I still really miss her yarn. It was absolutely gorgeous and it's super soft. This one is called Winter Wonderland. Sort of appropriate for the outside today, isn't it? So yeah, so I'm really, really liking this one. Am I knitting this into something right now? I might be knitting this into my shawl, like my full-size skein of this into my shawl. So that's exciting. I'll have to take a look at that because I plan on sitting and relaxing and watching some TV while I'm, you know, in between reading tonight, some booktube, and doing some knitting. So yeah, so that is Winter Wonderland. So that's the first one. That was for An Incantation of Cats. And as I've mentioned before, and I'll continue mentioning throughout the year, I do not, sorry, I got hair in my mouth. I do not match the yarn to the book. It just, I randomly put these in here and I don't know what I'm going to get. So this one is for, I believe, yes, A Cowboy for All Seasons. As you can see, I crossed off last month's books I didn't get to, and I'm going to do the same thing because I have about a half a dozen in my bag that books I didn't get to off my TBR, so they'll carry over until next month. Not the books, but the yarn. Some of these I really tape together, some of them not so much. Oh, another No Makers. For those of you who might have seen last week's vlog, I opened up the pink one, which was called Strawberries, and this is the chocolate. So this is the matching skein that goes with it, and I have this in a half size because I got the strawberries in a full size, this in a half size as well, and they are actually going to be my next pair of socks. So I'm super excited about that once I'm done the pair that I'm currently knitting. So yeah, so that will be the next skein going in. And then last but not least, we have Sisters by Choice. So there will be 2 more open tomorrow. because I plan on finishing the Sundown Motel and Lucky in Love tomorrow. Those are my goals. And so those ones you probably won't see knitted into the blanket until next week's vlog. So another No Makers. I seem to have gotten all the No Makers. This is one of the birthday colorways that she did. I did not get these in full-size skeins. I kind of wish now that I did. But it was a couple of years ago. She had her 5th anniversary of like dyeing yarn. And she released a mini skein set that was like this. And then each color, like each one, all of them were white with a different contrast. So there's blue, pink, purple, yellow, green, I think. But she sold a mini set. So I had to get the mini set for my blankets. So I'm hoping, and I should, out of each of these minis, I should get 2 squares. So I don't do 2 back to back, but I will knit these and then I put them in another baggie, the leftovers. And then eventually when I run out of yarn that I'm currently working my way through, I will open up those baggies and start adding duplicates in. But that's okay because it's a big patchwork. It's meant to be, you know, a little all over the place. So yeah, so those are my yarns going in the blanket, which you guys should probably see tomorrow. So yay, that's exciting. I just love the way they looked up, all skeined up like that. I think it's so pretty. And of course, I'll probably have more of this in the blanket because I have the full-size skein that I'm putting into my my shawls. So I will use those leftovers as well. So reading update for today. I started this morning listening to Lucky in Love by Casey West. This one's really cute. It's a YA contemporary, and it's about a girl who, on her 18th birthday, so she's legal to buy a lottery ticket, ends up buying a lottery ticket, and she wins the Powerball, which is like, I guess, the huge lottery in the US, and she wins $50 million, and she decides to take the lump sum, and after taxes, it's about $30 million. An 18-year-old with $30 million. Yeah, we all know how this one's going to end up. At almost 41 years old, I don't think I could be trusted with $30 million. I'd be like, half of it can go to the Humane Society for all the cats and dogs and all the other animals, and the rest I will buy a plane. No, I'm just kidding. It would be like a huge book area. I would spend my days traveling throughout, like all over Canada and the US, going to used bookstore, picking up old Harlequins, and ended up filling like a house with them. That would be like my ultimate dream. But anyway, my husband might have a say in that. So, she comes from a relatively, like, her family does not have a lot of money. Her father's been out of work for a number of years. Her mother's working like double shifts. Her brother's in college, but he's taking a year off to work so he can afford to continue to go. And now that she's got this money, you know, it's kind of what is going to happen. So I'm it's a 7.5 hour long audiobook, and I've got about 6 hours left on it, which sounds like a lot to finish before tomorrow, but I listened to it at 2 times speed. So really I've got a little under 3 hours left. So that shouldn't be too bad at all. I should definitely get that finished tomorrow. The other one that I'm currently reading, I just started today, is The Sundown Motel by Simone St. James. This one is, already I can see how creepy it's going to be. So much more creepy than The Broken Girls, to be completely honest. It's just got this, you know, hair standing up on the back of your neck factor. So essentially it's told in a dual timeline, which is catnip to me. That's one of my favorite things in books. And it takes place in 1992 and 2017. And in 1992, a young girl, 18 or 19 years old, by the name of Vivian, she goes by Viv, disappears from the Sundown Motel, which is this small motel in this small, nothing little town. And I don't mean the town is nothing, but I just mean like, you know, a one-horse town kind of an idea in upstate New York. And she is working the night shift there. She essentially kind of ran away from home. She's from Illinois, and she ends up going missing. And then now in 2017, her niece, who she had never met because the niece is only 20 and the aunt disappeared 35 years ago. So the niece just found out about this after her own mom passed away from cancer, and found out that she had this aunt, or no, it was just before her mother passed away from cancer, because she asked her mom about it. Her mom's like, we do not, like, you know, she's dead. That's all we're discussing, you know? And so Carly is our girl in 2017, and she has decided to take some time off of college, and she is driving to this little town called Fell, New York, and she wants to find out what happened to her aunt, and the story's going to go from there. So I don't know if I will be finished it by the time I might wait until really late tomorrow. Like I tend to do on the Saturdays, wait till like midnight or just after midnight to talk to you guys to see if I have enough time to get this book done. I'm hoping I can get it done by tomorrow. Because if I can finish those 2 books plus, I haven't gotten any more read in it today, but so my goal for tomorrow, and I do have stuff on the go tomorrow, as I've already mentioned to you guys, my dad's services tomorrow. I want to finish this. So I still have, what did I say, like 140 pages left of this one. And I also want to finish the Babysitters Club book that I'm currently reading. What's it called? New York, New York. Book 6. The 6th super special in the Babysitters Club series. So 4 books I'm hoping to finish by tomorrow. Bernard's jumping up on the couch. And I will show you guys him in just a minute. But yeah, so that's about it. I will probably not, like I said, I won't talk to you guys again until late tomorrow, where hopefully I can update you with everything that I finished. I plan on getting a lot of reading done tonight. I don't have to pick up Garrett for like another 4 hours. So I should get a lot of good reading done. But yeah, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. But in the meantime, here's the bean. My bean. My kitchen. Bernardio! You shy guy. Say hi to the people. With your portrait up on the wall. Just behind him. Aw, he's so handsome. Alright, that's it guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye. Hi BookTube, happy Saturday night. Excuse me. It is about 10:45 at night, and as predicted, this is about the time I thought I would be coming to talk to you guys. So, yeah, it's been a rough day for me. As I mentioned, we had the service for my dad this morning, or this afternoon, I should say, and it was difficult, to say the least. It was good for the closure, but it was still, you know, you think you're doing okay, and then, you know, you're seeing all these people who are giving you hugs and saying they're so sorry, and that just, it brings it back tenfold. And, you know, you see all these other people who are also hurting from losing him. And it was nice, though, in a way, and it's sad that this is sometimes the only time that people get together. Seeing a lot of people that I hadn't seen in many, 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 many years. You know, I got so many people coming to me going, do you remember me? And, you know, because I was young when the last time I would have seen a lot of these people. Like, the face is familiar, but please remind me of your name. And, you know, so that was really nice. And a lot of family was there, too, and stuff like that. And they had a slideshow of all these pictures, and the pictures were amazing. My sister-in-law has pretty much been going through my mom's photo albums for the last, you know, 4 or 5 weeks and scanning old photos. And I said to her, she said she has a copy of everything on like a flash drive, and she's going to give them to me. So that way I have them as well. But yeah, so, yeah, I don't know what else to say. It was hard. We left here about 11-ish, 11:30 this morning. We got home about 5, but we did go to Walmart afterward, do some grocery shopping. I needed to do something normal afterward, from being so upset. You know, I cried through a lot of it. I did talk very briefly. I had written a bunch of things down, and I got up there and I just said, forget it, and I just winged it. Because I knew if I thought too much about it, I would cry too much, and, you know, yeah, it was nice to see everyone come out, in memory of him and in support and things like that. And on the other hand, it was hard. So yeah, I currently am exhausted. I have a massive headache. I did not sleep well last night. Of course, spending a lot of the afternoon crying didn't help, or doesn't help. So I'm heading to bed really soon. But I did get some reading done today. I did get some books finished today, which is fantastic. I am super happy about that. So first of all, because I'm just sitting here filming, I usually have the setup for Saturday night so I can show you guys my knitting, but I'm too tired tonight, you guys, so I will definitely show you next week. Besides, it's been another week that I haven't really gotten a lot of knitting done. But yeah, like I said, I will show you guys that next week. So book-wise, I decided this morning actually, to DNF two books that I was currently reading. So I finally did make the decision to not finish reading Australia, the anthology by the various authors. I looked and I realized I'd only gotten like 20%, so I only read like 3% this week and 20% of the entire book over the last month. So I thought I'm not spending another 4 months working my way through this book. And because I just have no drive to pick it up is the thing. It's not, I'm not saying it's a bad book. For those of you who might be checking it out and reading it, I highly recommend that you do. You know, especially if you just want to read some of the stories by your favorite authors. And the money goes to a great cause, so I'm not at all mad that I purchased it either. I'm considering it a donation to the wildlife and the firefighters in Australia battling the bushfires, or who were battling the bushfires. So yeah. The other one that I decided to put down and not continue on was Lucky in Love by Casey West. Reason is because I knew I had very limited time today, and it is the last day of the month, and I'm not begrudging that. You know, I had much more important things to deal with today than reading. I know some of you are like, there's more important things than reading, but yes, there are. No, in all seriousness, today was a day out of the norm, and like I said to my husband on the way home, I said, let's hope we do not have to do that again for a long, long, long time. You know, let's try and keep all the family, you know, around. So, anyway, I knew I had limited reading time today, and I really wanted to finish The Sundown Motel. So Lucky in Love was kind of like an added book, one that I had gotten from the library, and then I ended up taking it on audio, and I still had about 6 hours left on it. So even listening to it at double speed, which is what I typically do, it was still 3 hours out of my day. And, you know, I wasn't, you know, I thought maybe I'd carry it over into March. I typically do not do that. I don't generally carry books over from 1 month to the other. I don't know what it is, and it's been like this for years. I guess I've just gotten into the habit of doing it. So I thought about carrying it over into March, but I have a lot of audiobooks that I'm reading in March or listening to in March, so I decided not to do that. It's a cute little story, but I'm not one that I'm absolutely compelled to want to read right now. I realized afterward that I do actually have a copy of it on Kindle, so I will get back to it eventually, but just not right now. So what I did finish today, the book's all the way over there and I don't feel like reaching. It's first thing this morning when I got up. I finished reading, what is it called again? Texas, sorry, I'm trying to read it here. Texas Ranch Justice by Karen Whitten. This one was really cute. I've been talking about it over the course of this week. I liked it. I gave it 3.5 stars. I really don't have much to say on it. I think I mentioned it the other day in a clip that I didn't find it overtly suspenseful, but it was still a really compelling story, and I did kind of figure it out, and I think I mentioned this too. I kind of knew what was going on, and I was right. So there is that. Then I also finished this morning, because I thought I'll get the easy stuff done first thing, is I finished reading New York, New York by Ann M. Martin, book 6 in the Baby Stars Club Super Special series, and I gave that book 3.5 stars as well. It was cute, it was fun. You know, I don't have a lot to say about it. I really like the super specials. They're some of my favorites. And yeah, this one was just an enjoyable read. And I did finish The Sundown Motel by Simone St. James. 5-star read, you guys. Absolute 5-star read. It was fantastic. I had to break up the reading of it tonight, like from when we got home till now, by watching BookTube videos, because it's intense. It's intense in a scary way, in a intriguing way. You know, it deals with the death of young girls, with a serial killer, you know, or a potential, you know, it's a very dark subject matter, and you know, you kind of get sucked into this world, and it's a show of great writing. You get sucked into this world, and you just want to know what's going to happen. But on the other hand, it's a very dark place. And the thing is, the one thing that has always kept me from reading a lot of thrillers and horror and stuff like that is when they get dark. I really, really like the cozy mysteries because there's such a light aspect to them. Even though they're a mystery, they're still really light and easy and kind of, you know, fun. Whereas this book and The Broken Girls and a lot of the ones by Lisa Jewell, they're very dark. And that is not my typical. I do enjoy reading them. But, you know, I've read 2 of them now this month. I read the Broken Girls as well. And did I read another thriller this month? I don't think so. Oh, I read the Lisa Jewell back in January. But I think, like, I know in March, I have a couple of. I have a Lisa Jewell book in March, but I think that that will be it. And I think I'm going to put a kibosh on the darker stuff for the month of April, because I kind of need a mental break from it. It's a lot when it's not something that you're used to reading. It's hard. But they are so well, and this one was so well done. I absolutely loved it. I don't want to say too much about it. You know, feel free to read the back of the book if you are interested to find out more about it. But I do not want to give anything away. I went into this one only knowing it was told in a dual timeline. Literally, that's all I knew, and it took place at some old motel. That's literally all I knew going into it. And I don't want to tell you guys more than that. It is a ghost story, I've mentioned that. It's a thriller ghost story, I want to say, where there is a mystery aspect to it. But there are ghosts in this story. Do keep that in mind. And not, oh, could it be or could it not be? Like, there are ghosts in this story. And I could absolutely see this one being made into a movie. And even if it was, I don't think I'd go see it. Because I think I mentioned before in another clip that if this was a movie, I wouldn't have watched it. I don't like scary movies at all. I don't like the thought of the jump scare. I don't like any of those things. Whereas a book, if it starts to get creepy, which is why it took me so... I should have had this done earlier today. But last night I was home by myself because Garrett was working, and I couldn't read this because I kept glancing over my shoulder down the hall. You know what I mean? So yeah, really, really good. Highly enjoyable. I absolutely recommend it. It is a new release. I got this as a copy from the publisher from NetGalley, so thank you to the publisher for this. I will be putting my review up tomorrow on NetGalley. And yeah, so anyway, guys, that's all I have. It's the end of this vlog. I have a feeling this vlog's going to be a little bit shorter than normal. I was doing a little bit of editing this morning, but that's okay. And yeah, on to tomorrow's the 1st of March, which is exciting. And yeah, a brand new month. And a brand new month of reading. So I will talk to you guys all in my next vlog. Take care and happy reading, everybody. Bye.